Hello and welcome. Now, if you've seen any of my videos, you'll know that I have a Love Brewing boiler or Spirit Works boiler, and I really love it. I do a lot for heating up water, ready for fermentation, all the way through to distilling, and it works really well. Now, while I enjoy it, I've also adapted a great deal, and I thought it might be a better idea to have one that I don't adjust and one that I do. So I bought a brand new Love Brewing 25-litre boiler. Um, and while this is my second one, I thought this now might be the perfect opportunity to do like an unboxing. So that way, any of you who are interested in buying one or a T500, you can see the differences and you can compare them yourselves. So before I do that, stick that down here. I'm assuming you'll be aware of the T500, which is this. It's a great boiler. I'm not going to be doing a proper full product review or anything like that, but I want to point out a few things. So this is a switch on, switch off type of boiler. So you fill it with your wash. You can put then the T500 column on here, the alembic column or pot still head, or if you custom built your own condenser column, you can stick that on there. All got the standard size style lid with a rubber wash gasket in there. Works quite well. Now, one thing I don't like about this boiler though is that the power cable is hardwired into it. You cannot remove it. So for storage, you pretty much have to dump it and leave it inside there because otherwise it's on the floor, which means now you can't clamp the lid on because the cable's in the way, and it is quite annoying. I don't like the tap. It's quite a slow. Sometimes it pings back. So it's just a slow feed. I'm worried about hitting it and smashing it. And whenever I'm doing a distillation run, I've got to now do this over the sink because I can't put anything onto this and it's just going to pour out down here when I open it up. I don't like it. And also handles, try and pick it up. I've literally got to hold it by that small thin rim or hold it like this. It is fine. Get used to it and you don't really think about it. It was only when you compare it to the Love Brewing boiler that you then realize the issue. So if you do have one of these, the first thing I'd recommend doing is buying a stainless steel tap. And these have a locking mechanism, which you have to pull up and then you can twist it around to open up. And all you do is a bolt on the inside of here for the tap. You can unscrew it, remove it. And then this has a nut and screw. And it literally is as simple as push that through the hole and then the nut on the other side and tighten it all up. There's a little washer in there as well. Now, what the other bonus with these are, apart from being more industrial in a sense that because they've got that locking mechanism, once it's open, you can't open it up to close the valve unless you pour this piece of metal up. And likewise, you can't then accidentally knock it and then suddenly start pouring 90, 100 degree liquid all over your floor. But the other bonus is it comes with a screw on bottom bit, which you can stick on a hose. So this will mean while it's on there, I can then screw this hose on when I'm about to empty it. I then dump this hose into my sink and then I can open it up and know that all this contents is going to go down my sink and I can do everything here. And obviously this I have to buy from Amazon, eBay or any sort of plumbing shop. Now this is very, very heavy duty, far too heavy duty fuel and oil hose. It can take 20 bar of pressure, which is extremely high. And the reason why I went for this is one, because it's very, very pliable and bendable, so it can go around corners, it won't get rigid. But this can also take up to 120 degrees Celsius temperature. So I know even at the maximum temperature, this tube will not melt or go wrong. And to be honest, I just thought I'd rather go over than underkill. So that is a real bonus. Now the tap, you're looking around about 10, 12 pounds. The tube, anywhere between 5 to 12 pounds again per meter. But they really are a benefit if you've got T500 and you want to do a bit of a upgrade to it. So that being said, there's not much else you can really say about it. Just works. So stick this over here, grab a pair of scissors and have the fun time of opening this box. Now I only picked this up yesterday. Before we go any further. So I need to make you aware that I'm not getting any kickback financial or products from Love Brewing for doing this review. Love Brewing do not know that I'm doing this review, and they will not have editorial rights or knowledge. Not even my wife knows I'm doing this video, but that's mainly because she doesn't care about brewing. When this video gets published online on YouTube, Love Brewing will not be told about it. And the only reason and the only way, that Love Brewing will find out about my review is either they stumble across it or someone who's watching it then tells them, oh, did you see someone's reviewed your boiler? So I'm not getting anything from Love Brewing. Okay, this is not me doing it for them. They have no idea I'm doing it. I'm completely an independent person. I'm doing it just because I thought it would be useful. Quite often when I buy things, I look online, see who else has bought it, see if they've got any unboxings and product reviews, just so I can learn more about it. And that's just the way it goes these days, and I think it's brilliant. So I haven't seen anyone doing a product review of the Spirit Works / Love Brewing boiler, hence I'm doing it now. So inside the box, we have our 3-pin. Now this is a bog standard kettle lead, as they're called, or IEC plug. You can't just use anything you can find around the house if you want a spare or use one. These boilers obviously are using 2.2 kilowatts of power. So if you're using an old lead you had lying around, one, obviously you've got to check it's got a 13 amp fuse in there. We've got to make sure that the cable itself can withstand it. Otherwise that's going to heat up. It won't melt or cause any problems, but if it's not built for it, it will heat up, and that could cause issues. Shouldn't do, but use the one that comes with it. I've got a, yep. Oh, it's nice. So let's get this out. Oh, stuck. There we go. Now this is a nice touch. Oh, I do like these. So this is the insulation jacket. Not sure what it's made of, but this is a lovely touch. The issue I've often had with this is you got to keep far away from it. The last thing you want to do is run this properly. Is at 89 degrees before I shut it down, and if you touch it, knock it, it's going to burn you. Whereas something like this, it will not burn you. It gets warm and hot, but even at full power, you can then still put your arms all the way around this. And yes, it's warm, but it's not hot, too hot where it will hurt you. The other added bonus that they say is that it helps it from knocks. And yeah, if you're going to hit it or knock it, this will absorb some of the pressure or the power. So yeah, it could stop it from denting, as well as creating it as an insulation, so it helps retain the heat. I don't know how good that is or how true that is. Yeah, it's going to help keep some heat in. Will it help you in a brew? Probably not. I've had mine full 25 litres of water, and after 12, 13 hours of leaving it unplugged, it's only gone down like 10, 20 degrees. So I don't think it's going to save you really any money in electricity heating bills. All right, let's put that over there. Nice solid clasps. Oh, can't get that back. Now, the one thing I do like with actually let's put it like that. That looks nice. They are nice looking boilers. To me, this is more just like the T500 fixed, upgraded, made it to look a bit better. So I'm going to stick this on. This is very easy. It literally is a Velcro strip along the top and the bottom. So all you do is wrap it around, get it lined up with a hole, the mark around the plug, and then it's pulling it really tight as you can. There we go. And then getting just a bit more there, getting that on, and then it's just aligning it. But you want it to go along the bottom between the actual boiler and the heating element area. There we go. And then pull it around so it's a bit more central. If you're like that, there we go. So that's our Love Brewing boiler. Now this has pretty much the identical tap that I'd recommend for that. The ones I buy are 13, I forget that, I think they're 13 mil barb for the hose, whereas the Love Brewing boiler is a 12 mil. Outside of that, identical in every way. So when we look at this, the lid is identical to the T500. It's got a stick on there saying warning it might get hot, but it's identical in every way. They both use 47 mil hole, I think. So like the T500 boiler, with this you can use the T500 reflux column, you can use the Still Spirits Alembic condenser head, or you can then stay in the actual neck of the toilet. The boiler is the same height, so or width, so you can then use the Still Spirits Alembic head on there, the head dome. You can also use a 47 mil weldless bulkhead to 2-inch tri-clamp, so that way that will come out to here, and that way you can bolt on extra extensions or your own custom-built system. So what else on here? We've got identically the same clasps as the T500, work exactly the same. And if we put them down, nice solid clasp. And then, yeah, very nice. Get them off. Obviously, we'll say we've got the tap, which, yeah, we'll undo this. So you've got a nut. And then you've got a lovely little washer around there, rubber O-ring, so you won't leak. We have two heating element switches, 1750 watt or 500 watt. So when you program this to set temperature, down means no power. It will be running, but the heating elements won't be engaged. That will just engage the 500 watt heating element. That will heat the 1750 heat element. And if they're both up, then that's your full 2.2 kilowatts. Realistically, if you're doing any brewing in here and you're wanting to keep it to 20 to 30 degrees, you just want the 500 watt heating element. Pretty much anything else you're doing, you want them both on. You want the full power in there, otherwise it will take a very long time to heat. What I recommend also, keep them both off. When you're not using it, keep them off, because the last thing you want to do is accidentally switch this on when it's empty, or you've got power leads, or you're storing things in here, and then suddenly it either kills itself or melts cables because you forgot these were on and it's actually turned on. This way, when you program it up, you can go, no, I'm ready. Let's flip these up. It's now going to heat. We've got a nice little display here. Not really much you can say about it. I'll be switching out in a minute to show you actually how it works. IEC plug here, or socket for plugging in. And then underneath it, we have our reset pin, just the same as the T500, although on the T500, it's a black plastic tube or bar that comes out for you to press it. So these have built-in thermostats, which will trigger at, I think the Love Brewing is 130 degrees, and I think the T500, excuse me, is either 110 or 120 degrees. I can't actually remember. What that means is if you let it boil dry, if there's no water in here, that will get so hot it will trigger the thermostat and it kills the electricity to the heating elements. When that happens, you switch it off, let it cool down, and you can press that plunger and it will reset that thermostat. It's a manual reset, so otherwise it will just keep tripping itself, and that could then cause a bit of a problem. That's purely there to stop it running dry. So if you leave it, and you should never leave them unattended, but if all the water evaporates and all the wash and everything else, we just don't put much in there, it will overheat, because otherwise technically they shouldn't be able to heat that temperature, because the liquid itself will cool the heating elements. So it's a good safety feature. Now, yeah, forgot about these. So inside here as well, we have our rubber bung. Now, if I can get into the bag, the only reason to use this rubber bung is for airlocking if you're brewing or fermenting. So this way, rubber bung in there, push the nice in, and you can put your airlock in there. So this way now, it's fermenter. That's a lot of rubber. But that's it. Purely, that's all that is. And the last thing in here is the manual, or the guide. And obviously it just tells you how to use it, what the computer can do, and how the different the error codes and how the menus work. Keep it on hand, good idea. Admittedly, it is not that advanced. It's very easy to use. Now, everything's out. Show you the inside, and you can see at the back, where's my hand? Over about that side, that's the little nipple that's sticking out, is the little temperature sensor in there, and that's what monitors and the computer will read. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to plug it in. You should hear a bleep. Yep. Nice blue black lit screen. And it's currently showing 18 degrees Celsius. Now, if you want to change it between Celsius and Fahrenheit, you can. You just press and hold the set button. There we go. And it's now changed to Fahrenheit. So it's showing 63 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to press and hold to go back to Celsius. Yeah, it's a nice little feature that you can switch between those two. There we go, back to 18 degrees. Now, I'm going to put in some water, make sure, yeah, it's definitely empty, and the tap is closed. Now, this is only tap water. I'm just using this container for convenience sake. Now, the other benefit with this is that obviously, even though the computer has power, it's powered off. You can tell that because there's no blue-black light. As soon as it's running, blue-black light, immaterial whether those heating element switches are on or off. So that's now 5 litres of water, because you should never, ever, ever run this dry. So that's gone down to 11 degrees. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring the camera closer and actually show you how the screen works. Okay, so let's power this on. I'm going to plug it into the mains now. Now what happens is a few seconds, comes on, so you just press, oh, no, I missed it. When it first powers on, the screen goes blue, and you've got about 4 or 5 seconds to press the set button to start it up. If you miss it, like I have, so you're on no black light, you press the on off, and it says what temperature do you want. Now, press it once, it goes up once, press and hold, and it goes through. Can't say much simpler than that. When you get to 110 degrees, it shoots down to 20 degrees. And that is the minimum and maximum this temperature this boiler can do. If you leave it, it'll automatically switch on. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to set it to 90 degrees Celsius. The next option is for how long. So you could say, well, heat it for an hour. Maximum is 24 hours. No one would ever use that. But what that means is that once it gets to the set temperature, it will then do that for that amount of time before switching off. Could be useful, but for me, not. So I set it to 0. 0 means heat indefinitely. Press the set. It goes on to how many minutes. Set again. Now, timer is a bit like on your cooker. How long to wait until you want to heat? So if I put 1, and then once I set it to go, it will wait 1 hour, and then it will start heating. So you could say, well, I want to wait 1 hour before turning it on. And then once you get to that temperature, heat for 2 hours, then switch off. If you don't want that, which I don't, you set it to 0. That means heat instantly and heat at that temperature forever. Once done, you press the set and it goes into the main start, or like I have, you just leave it, it will go its own way. So set. So how many hours to heat for, minutes to heat for, how long to wait, and then it goes. Now, once you've actually, told it what you want to do, it will show on the left-hand side the current liquid temperature on the inside, the temperature that you have set it to. It will show that it's heating. If it's already reached the temperature, it will then say, I think it's stay warm, just to let you know that it's not heating at the moment because it thinks it's the right temperature, so it's just keeping it warm. And then these 2 bars along the side are just saying that basically that it's heating. Now, clearly it isn't heating because I didn't switch on the heating elements. So I'll turn this around. Now the heating elements are off, but when you switch them on, they light up. That's the 500 now working. And that's the 1750 heating now working. If I hold this around there, you see it's 10 degrees C. If we hold on for a moment, that will then slowly go to 11, and that will keep going up. Now I'm going to take you out. And if you look in that water, you can see bubbles already starting to form on the bottom and rise, which is really good, which means it is heating up. And there we go. There's not really much else we can say about the Love Brewing boiler. These handles are amazing. They really are. When you're trying to lug this across from the shed, the garage, from your loft, which is where I keep mine, it's just easy to hand hold, and they are very thick, nice rubber, so you get a good grip on there. They won't heat up. You'll get no temperature feeling at all when it's heating. Oh, actually, I forgot one thing it does do as well, is it has the literage in 5 litres. Go 5, 10, 15, 25, 20, and then 25. So that is really helpful as well for seeing how much is in there. And not really much else to say. So I personally would recommend this boiler. I've seen the DigiBoil, and that is also quite a nice boiler, but it depends on where you are in the world to whether you can buy the DigiBoil or buy this Love Brewing boiler. The Grainfather is awesome, and it is just a different league of boiler to the DigiBoil, the Love Brewing boiler, and the T500, but at the same point you're paying quite a lot more money for it, so you would expect it to be different. So yeah, there you go. If you have any questions about the Love Brewing boiler, by all means let me know. I'll answer everything you can. I've had, say, my first one for a year and 3 months, and absolutely love it. And this is one I only received yesterday, so this is all good. And yeah, nice boilers. Have fun, enjoy, and I hope you like the video. If you do, please do hit the like button. I don't have that many subscribers. I'm a poor single person enjoying YouTube and having a bit of fun and trying to help out people. So it would help me out if you do like the video. If you don't like the video, I'm sorry, but can't please everybody. All right, well, thank you very much. Take care, and hope to do another video soon.